All right, well, this is what I call Domácí Farm. Domaci is a Czech term for kind of homey or homemade. It's nothing too fancy or too expert, but it hopefully works somewhat. And the main thing I've done, or the first thing I did, was ducks. And so the idea with raising ducks and some of the other projects is to, with the ducks, to get eggs. They have very, very tasty eggs. They're like chicken eggs, but creamier. So some say it's like whole milk to skim milk. So to get eggs out of them, so most of the ducks I have here are female ducks. I've done some breeding to get new generation of ducks too. But so that's the first thing, to get eggs out of it. Also, it gets me outside in creation. We're blessed here at St. Procopius Abbey to have about 80 acres of land, and it's very beautiful, green. And so this gets me outside close to God through his creation. And then what happens is things go wrong here and there. And so the third thing I kind of think about as a purpose here is patient adaptation. So as things go wrong, you have to fix a problem or adjust something that wasn't planned. You kind of learn patience. So you have to kind of, okay, patiently deal with it, see what you got to do. Don't get flustered, and that's a good kind of attitude with life, or a lesson for life as well. So as far as the ducks, I have right now kind of 3 I think are male. There's a couple that are young. I don't know if they're male or not. And so so that gives me 7 that are able to produce eggs. Over here is the duck house where they spend the night. So ducks are susceptible to prey, and so they can, raccoons, even skunk, as well as coyote. So at night, the predators especially come out at night. So we want them in a more secure place at night. They go in there. And all 10 of them can fit in there. There's bedding. That's usually where the eggs are, although sometimes they'll drop eggs late in the day. But usually they do that overnight or in the morning. They're in there. I let them out. They walk around like now, give them a little free range while I set things up. And so they can free range, and they'll forage, get some food, get some exercise. But over there is a tractor. It's a long kind of mobile run, and it gets moved on the fresh ground every day. And so it that way they get fresh ground, they're on the ground, it's kind of more natural. They can eat bugs, leave some of the grass or plants. And then I put the feed on one end and then the water on the other, so they have to kind of go back and forth, get some exercise. And that also protects them during the day from aerial predators. I've lost now 2 ducks to either a hawk or a owl. And so that's a danger for them. And so we have a lot of owls and hawks and aerial predators. So they're protected from that. That is Dillard right there. Dillard's a new duck, a white layered duck, very good for producing eggs, although he's a male, so he's producing no eggs. But his breed is very good. Yeah, so that's the kind of method. Then at night I put them away. Give them fresh water twice a day. Ducks love water, of course. They need enough water to dip their heads in and wash their heads and face and eyes, as well as to drink it. So yeah, that's the basic method. They're really, really easy. It's really easier than having a dog. I mean, it's just altogether really 25 minutes a day usually. So I'll stay out here longer because I just enjoy being out here. While I've been out here, I've tried to do a little landscaping, different things. One of them is there's a drainage pipe here that drains from the pavement, as well as I think from some of the roof. And it would just kind of make this a swampy area. So I kind of made something, a little pond, works kind of like a swale, catches some of the water, it goes into the ground rather than as much runoff. And the ducks love it. So it'll drain out when it's dry, but right now we've had some rain, so it has some water in there. There's also frogs actually have found it, so there's some frogs in there right now. And so I call it Lake Anatum. And if I have my genitive plural of Latin correct, Anatum is of the ducks, so it's Lake of the Ducks. Some of the monks call it Murphy Pond, though, instead. So, so this has been a good addition. Behind it, I'm growing out some grass for some rabbits I have. And let's see if I can eventually plant some stuff along the berm there behind it. So how did I get going or started with ducks? So it happened kind of by accident during the pandemic, pretty early that May, the first May in the pandemic, where we're all in lockdown and a lot of anxiety. What happened was every year, in fact, we'll get mother ducks will come and form a nest in our enclosed courtyard, which is in the middle of the abbey. So it's completely enclosed. Ducks like it. It's protected from land predators. And so they'll put a nest in there, and as the nest hatches out, we'll let them out. But there are some stormwater drains in there. So every once in a while, not often, ducks would walk over, the ducklings would walk over the stormwater drain and just be small enough to fall down into the water below. So this happened with 3 ducks in that early May of 2020. And so I figured out a way of getting them out. So I got one out, gave it back to its mother and brood. It took a lot longer to get the other one out. Unfortunately, the third one seemed to have drowned. It disappeared. And so the one that took a long time to get out, the mother had gone away, took it out. I thought to myself, well, I'm not sure if the mom will take it now, and I'm going to raise it. So I named it Poimane after a Greek word for shepherd. There's also a monastic saint with that name. It was Good Shepherd Sunday, so that's why the duck was named Poimane. I raised the duck. It imprinted on me, so it actually followed me around and go for walks. It'd walk with me and I didn't have to worry about it running away. And got bigger and bigger. And so I figured if I can raise a duck, I might as well do farm ducks and get eggs out of it. And so I started to do that that following August. And Poimane would actually join those farm ducks and hang out with them. They weren't the most welcoming. They had kind of their own flock. But eventually then Poimane flew away. And for 3 times now, in the following 3 springs, Poimane's flown back and found out. I thought she was a boy at first. It was a girl, and she has hatched out her own ducklings in our courtyard, just like she was. So they're in there actually as we film this, and they are getting ready. She got 12 ducklings this year. They've all survived, and they are full size, and they're about ready to fly. So any day now they'll fly off and see if Poimane comes back again.